What's going on, everybody?
Hey, welcome back. We hope you guys had a great Memorial Day.
Yeah.
Hope you had a safe one.
Hope there's a lot of backyard barbecues, beer, steaks, hamburgers, whatever.
Crowded beaches, all that shit. Wait and see. Bad thing is, we record these over a month in advance, so we have no idea if this is even. We may be talking to like an apocalyptic crowd out there at this point. I don't know. In our state, we're going to reopen about July 4th, so we don't know what's going to be like there. America.
Yeah, parts unknown is supposedly going to open up July 4th.
So, anyways, we do hope you guys had a great Memorial Day, a safe one, and yeah, here to provide a little bit of entertainment while you guys are all shut in. I will say our views have gone up after this. I mean, I hate to cash in on Corona, but it's like, hey, doing good for us. So, but hey, we're back, and what is? Oh, I guess we should introduce your show. I mean, they don't know. They clicked on a random video. They have another watch.
Yeah, it's probably related to some cool Undertaker.
Exactly. Journey to the Darkside. I'm Daniel.
Simon.
And yes, what event are we checking out today?
Oh, this is the
He's got Corona of the tongue right now.
Survivor Series 1995.
Man, what is the what are the stats? Well, give us the stats, the rundowns there.
November the 19th, 1995. Landover, Maryland, at the U.S. Air Arena. With attendance of
Big Four, but 95. But dude, that makes no sense because like their 95's Big Four is always like good. I'm gonna go.
This whole business is down thing is not working anymore.
No, it's not.
So I don't know where people get their stats.
17,000.
Okay, well, 14.5.
Okay, that's all overshot it. Well, every time, like, you can do this shit. We're in a rebound as far as quality. Maybe not money in business, but we're definitely on a rebound quality coming up. So I feel like the last two when we were really in the shitter, it was just like 30,000 people. And just like, what? Main event, Diesel fighting like a Mabel, and we're doing, it's ridiculous. So anyways.
I am not spoiler completely, but I'm telling you right now, stay tuned to the next block of episodes because finally, in my opinion, and we'll get to that.
Exactly.
Finally, I think we're in store for some.
We're getting out of the dark ages right now.
Good shit.
That's good shit.
Anyways.
Such good shit.
Why don't you kick it off?
Well, wait. Tell us what the main event is, bro.
The main event is.
I catch him on main event every time.
Nobody cares that Bret Hart defeated Diesel in their no disqualification match.
Have you seen that matchup?
No. Should I?
Fucking solid. Jokes aside. Awesome match. Match of the night, and honestly, probably the best title defense Diesel. Well, unfortunately, it was his last, but his best title defense, I guess unsuccessfully, he's ever had. Like, it literally is a top-notch fucking match. I highly recommend that match.
All right.
So yeah, normally it's a who gives a shit because it's been Diesel fighting Bulldog, or Diesel fighting Mabel, or Diesel fighting Simon. Yeah, we could go through a list of Diesel opponents, but
a card full of Survivor Series matches. I like to see that.
Yes, it's different. We've discussed that numerous times before.
Yeah.
But we'll get to the match. The match we're looking at today is Survivor Series match. It's the Royals going up against the Darkside. A little bit of background here, and then we're going to take a wonky turn into some Beyond Kayfabe lane, which you know I can do. But we'll go ahead and set up the match. And the match has its roots that date back to King of the Ring of this year, 95. And, of course, we know that Mabel defeated The Undertaker in the first round of that with some outside interference from Kama, the Supreme Fighting Machine. But nonetheless, got a pinfall victory, which is actually rare on The Undertaker. I think we already established as far as Undertaker WWF goes, Hogan and him are the only two that's actually got a pinfall. Not a DQ win or nothing like that. We're talking pinfall victory over Dead Man. So, yeah, he's in an elite club, unfortunately. But Mabel did beat him. So, Taker go on, gets revenge against Kama. And then it stopped. And I always thought that's kind of odd because I kind of forgot. I honestly thought like him going after Mabel was resolved that, and it wasn't. In fact, Taker's letting shit go because in all reality, I think in Taker's mind, kayfabe, that Mabel and Kama wasn't working together. Kama was like already targeting, the Million Dollar Corporation already targeting Taker. So it's just, coincidence that Mabel was out there. Mabel capitalized, don't get me wrong, douche move, but still, Taker's like, hey, it is what it is, no big deal. And he moved on. He defeated Kama, essentially defeated the corporation, and now he's just doing his thing. But then on an episode of Monday Night Raw, Taker was taking on British Bulldog, and out comes King Mabel to prove a point that he's the king now, and nobody in his kingdom is going to take over, and so he beats up, puts down Taker. So the then president, Gorilla Monsoon, said, nope, Jack Tunney's gone. I really don't know what the story was between. Like, I don't know what the real life story is. I don't know what the fake story was. I want to know what the transition between Jack Tunney and Girl Monsoon was, because I love Jack Tunney. He's so serious. But anyways, so Monsoon says that In Your House 4 is going to be Mabel versus The Undertaker. However, in the weeks leading up to that, there's a big 6-man tag match. Camp Cornette, Yokozuna, Bulldog, Hart, going up against The Undertaker and the 2 dudes with attitude, which is Diesel and Shawn Michaels.
Oh, man.
And during this 6-man tag match, King Mabel comes out again to go to Taker, and him and Zuna would beat him down and, of course, injure his orbital bone in the process. The fallout from that was, however, Taker was injured, taken off TV, and was written out. However, at In Your House 4, Girl Monsoon showed up and said that, by the way, you're not getting off tonight. You're going to fight Yokozuna. And so we had a rare heel versus heel Battle of the Monsters, which was just as horrible as you think it would be. Ended, if I'm not mistaken, in a double count out. It was what it was. However, Taker has recovered from his injury, and guess what? He's back, and it was announced, no real build-up other than that at Survivor Series, Taker, which I always like Survivor Series return at Undertaker return at Survivor Series, because it's like, it's where you started. So it is kind of like a return to home.
Yeah,
no matter, and he's done it several times since then, or he never rebirthing type process there. Either way, to me, it always felt special. But anyways, he was paired up with Fatu, Savio Vega, and Henry Godwin. We're going to get into that in a second. And he go up against the Royals, which is King Mabel, Lawler, Triple H, and Kane. And we'll get into that in a second. But anyway, so it was just kind of put together. Now, kayfabe, it made sense, because Monsoon was just like, well, fuck it. We got to get Taker and Mabel together, and respecting traditional Survivor Series events, like, we had, he was like, fucking put them together. So when he's put the teams together, I can see him assembling the Royals first. And now, he didn't put Sir Mo on the team, but in all reality, they were phasing Mo out to be a manager anyway. So, I'll let that shit slide. But it makes sense that he paired him up with Jerry the King Lawler, because once again, Kings. Hunter Hearst Helmsley, which once again, aristocratic, social blue blood, very snobbish and, prestigious, if you will.
Kids going nowhere.
No, it's just by his last run, actually. So he's on there, so it makes sense. Isaac Yankem only makes sense because, he's a dentist, but as Lawler would say, he's his royal dentist.
Yeah, he's Lawler's guy.
Yeah, he's a henchman. Just like a soldier.
Muscle guy.
Yes, and once again, they have a history because at SummerSlam, he teamed up with him to fight Bret Hart. Or didn't team up with him, on Lawler's behalf, fought Bret Hart. So it does make sense. He's a muscle guy. So that team makes perfect sense. But then Monsoon's just like, so who are Taker's friends and allies?
But he has none.
Shit. He's got... No. So I feel like what he tried to do was pair up, well, who are the heels feuding with at this point? Now, Godwin makes sense only because him and Triple H were feuding. Savio Vega, it's like, I guess, Mabel? They did fight in the finals of the King of the Ring, and Mabel was one of beating, but that feud carried over to the next In Your House, which was Savio Vega and Rez Ramon go up against Men on a Mission, and it was already squashed. Men on a Mission won, and it's ended the feud. So it's like, that was months ago. Mabel has since gone on to feud with Taker, Diesel. It's like, so I don't know. It's just like, it is what it is, I guess. Fuck it.
Now, excuse my
no, go ahead.
Poserness here.
No, absolutely.
Is this the future Midian? Or is it the other Godwin?
No, Viscera. Oh, sorry. No. Henry Godwin. No. Phineas Godwin was.
Okay.
Midian, yeah.
Okay.
No, so not yet. And then Bot 2 is in the middle of his positive rapper gimmick. Kids, stay in school. Don't do drugs. And it's like, dude, weren't you a fucking head shrinker, savage islander eating chicken carcasses to the ring just months before? Not even years. Months. Did I have a hallucination? Oh.
WWF.
No shit. And another thing.
Still, already got the dance moves.
Oh my god, I hate it.
Already got the moves.
And like, you might be on kayfabe route. I'm not even going to tackle the Fatu thing. But it's just like, fuck me. I don't like any of the gimmicks that he has had except for Rikishi, obviously. And then, of course, Head Trigger Fatu. Because I always like a gimmick. I know it's considered culturally insensitive today, but I don't give a fuck. It was the 80s and 90s. And guess what? Savages didn't speak and they would eat chicken carcasses. That's what they fucking did. So I like those two gimmicks. this made, and even as a kid, I wasn't buying. I was like, what? And he mastered the English language pretty fucking easy.
Oh, yeah.
Like, easy. So I'm just like, fuck. And the thing is, like, he has no connection here, except the only thing I can think of when I was doing my research was, because I have been watching all these pay-per-views in their entirety, it's either SummerSlam or the previous In Your House to this one. He fought Triple H in the opening match.
Okay.
Triple H beat him. Which, no storyline to that either. It was literally just kind of like, well, Fought 2's a single wrestler, Triple H is on the rise as a single wrestler, and they just kind of met in the rankings. That was it. Yeah. Oh, a quick little side note. First time on pay-per-view they mentioned Triple H instead of
they said he
perfect.
He likes to be called Triple H.
Which Big Man's like, well, Hunter Hearst Helmsley. It's like Big Man was not buying it at that time. Just like, no, he's Hunter Hearst Helmsley. But Mr. Perfect was rooting for him. He was trying. He was like, he wants to be called Triple H, and McMahon's just like, no.
Mr. Perfect, pretty good on
commentary. Damn
and
good.
I know that I don't know if I've mentioned it on here, but I know I've mentioned it in my private life among my friend or two. I'm not a big fan of wrestlers turned commentators, and only a very few have been, in my opinion.
Yeah, no, I agree.
I know you like JBL.
I like JBL.
I hated him. Anyways,
so I guess we're done here. See you later.
Mr. Perfect. I really didn't know that he had a run and dude, not bad.
No, it's actually pay-per-view because I knew if you were to ask me like, was he? I'd be like, yeah, he did a few prime times or maybe Raws, but back in the early.
Yeah.
But I didn't know he was a pay-per-view guy, and then when I watched this one, I was like, holy shit! I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this may be his very first one.
Okay.
And I was like, dude, I loved it. Like I thought he did great. Like he really was. You're right though. Ventura and Lawler are really the only two I can think of. And I mean, I like JBL. I mean, I'm not putting him in my Mount Rushmore of commentators. Yeah. But no, that's the only thing I can think of them is like solid. Whereas,
I mean, Gorilla Monsoon, technically.
Yeah, I mean, you're right. Gorilla Monsoon. So, and I mean, even Bobby Heenan to a certain extent. I mean, he was a wrestler before he became a manager. He mostly knows a manager. But you're right. I mean, I love Piper and Piper Ground on Mic. Piper was a horrible commentator. I was not a fan.
Foley tried it on SmackDown.
Did he? I didn't know. Wasn't good.
Late 2000s or so. Didn't like Macho Man.
Yeah,
and he didn't like it either.
Yeah,
I mean,
and he wasn't horrible though. Like I felt like Piper was grating. Like I was just like, fuck Piper.
I like to see
Savage
these guys when the wrestlers, because Macho Man was still Macho Man as a commentator.
Yeah,
Lawler. I mean, he's they all kind of keep a little bit of it, but these guys kind of let their gimmicks go and become commentators.
But embrace the commentating personality part.
Yeah,
of it. Yeah, you're right. That's exactly it.
When you gotta remove being clothed like this. Oh, yeah.
See, and Taz was kind of the same way. I never was big on Taz as a commentator. I mean, he wasn't horrible. Once again, I'm not going to shit on him, but it's the same thing. But anyway, so yeah, Perfect. I did a great job.
Yes.
So, you got this weird assortment of people. Now, let's just hit the first layer. Reality was probably A, you had to do something for everybody. I get it.
Yeah.
B, if I'm not mistaken, wasn't these three like part of Taker's backstage crew? The
BSK.
BSK, okay, I couldn't remember what the hell thing was. The BSK, I'm pretty sure these were three members of that. And so I can see Taker just going like, listen.
Savio for sure.
Yeah, and I know Fought 2 for sure.
Was it?
Yeah,
okay.
She was.
I knew
but Phineas was. The Minion, but I don't know if Henry, but I can only assume he had to be, right? I mean, I couldn't. But
there's a picture or something.
Yeah.
But
if you guys know for sure, drop the comments. Let us know, please.
Yelko's in the Godfather.
Yeah, comma.
I don't know.
But so, I mean, to me, it seemed like
Owen?
Really? Maybe. I don't think so.
I was thinking
But see, Owen was one of those guys that's super cool, though. Yeah, I was saying, he was friends with everybody.
Every click.
But, anyway.
Except the click.
But, anyways, so that makes sense on that level. But kayfabe.
But yeah,
it makes
the fans don't know that.
But the thing is, like, I did as a kid, because even with, like,
the
All-Americans.
You didn't know about the BSK as
no. That's what I'm saying.
Like,
no, but kayfabe, yeah. But like, the kayfabe made zero sense.
Yeah, that's what I mean. Yeah.
And it bugged the shit out, because as a kid, like, the All-Americans made sense because Tatanka was injured, so Luger and the Steiners had to recruit somebody. And I can buy, like, Taker's like, I want my title back, and Yokozuna's champion. This is a way to get to it. I'm not being friends with you guys, I'm just going for him. And that makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Whereas here, he's the captain, so it's like, I don't see him recruiting anybody. He doesn't need help, and I'll get to that here in a little bit.
I bet we could go through here to all the Survivor Series, and I bet there's probably more thrown together, doesn't make any sense teams, and there are teams that actually do.
And once again, the fact that we already know
that this has to be one.
Yeah, and once again, and we already established that Monsoon just made the match. There was no build-up of like Mabel going, and I picked him, and then Taker's like, all right. No, it was literally Monsoon made it, so it makes sense on that level. But just what the fuck? And so when they come out, you know, the Royals come out first, and Lawler's doing. I mean, I forgot that Lawler did this is like kind of his shtick during the '90s, early '90s. He was still like a wrestler part time. Was be just on the microphone, just berating his, you know, the crowd, berating the opponents. And I forgot that. I love that. He's perfect. But then we go, you know, to Savio Vega, and they all come out.
What about the poor guy with the blonde mullet with King Mabel's chariot?
He was struggling.
Oh my
dude, I'm like, yes, on the right side. So when you watch the video, lower right, front right, dude, I saw.
The other guy's just kind of holding it, but he's
struggling, and maybe more like, well, is he faking it like for the camera, or is he really like, guys, I'm gonna fucking die, please hurry up, let's just get there quickly.
Well, you can tell because when they drop him off, like he's the first one that
like,
fucking.
I'm out of here, guys. Yeah. Oh fuck, my back.
And on a side note,
I forgot about that.
Stay tuned because we do have a cameo for a chariot carrier.
Oh, do we?
We'll get to, yes.
I had no idea about that. Go ahead. I mean, okay, gotcha. Gotcha.
Don't spoil it.
No, yeah, don't spoil it for me either.
You gotta tune in.
Let me know on the show, because I want to be surprised on the show.
Right.
So sometimes we spoil shit for each other off camera, and then I gotta pretend like I'm surprised, and it doesn't work. I'm a bad actor. You see my work, so. Anyways, so Sago comes out, Henry Godwin, and Fatu, they come out.
All the same music.
And yeah, the Sago Vegas theme song, all wearing Undertaker t-shirts.
Rest in peace, you know.
And I'm thinking, how fucking low rent.
That's the connection. There you go. They got uniforms.
It's so bad. And I'm just like, I'm watching this going, and I don't know why that took me out more than anything else, but I was like, this is so fucking indie, low rent bullshit. And I'm thinking to myself, like, okay.
Whoa.
Yeah. But listen.
Jim.
Yeah, I know.
Jim.
But it really is. I'm thinking to myself, okay, this would only sort of fly if A, they were all jobbers. Okay. Like, literally no-name jobbers. Taker is forced, like, a storyline where McMahon's just like, well, I'm going to screw you, Taker, and guess what? You're going to get a team. It's going to be these three nobodies. And I can see that. That works. That makes sense. Like, of course, they have no characters, no name, no identity, so yeah, they're wearing Taker t-shirts. But, like, if Taker got fired from WWF and was, like, on some indie scene, I don't just mean the indie scene. I mean, like, the dirt poor, I hate to use the corny thing, mud show outlaw thing. Like the SWA in Springville, right? And even there, they had established characters.
Is that near parts
unknown? Near parts unknown. It is near parts unknown. I think it's defunct now, so it doesn't matter. I can see, like, those nobodies doing it.
Over Hill Jr.
Exactly, but it's like, but still, yeah, it's like, I think it'd be the crowd even in the bleachers with like 20 other people going, no, this is not cool. And now, I'll put myself, okay, let's put ourselves in a situation. Let's say me, you, and Joey are pro wrestlers, but we're like on that lower mid-card level, you know, fans haven't really came to us yet, but we all have our own gimmicks. I feel like me and you definitely be more Darkside type guys.
Yeah.
So let's say we're wrestling today, and or maybe a couple years ago, for this analogy to work, but you know, we're kind of the Raven, grungy kind of characters.
I can see that.
I see Joey being more like an Arn Anderson, Mr. Perfect, singlet thing, and then we're getting paired up with John Cena for his big return match or somebody. And Vince McMahon's like, we got our outfits on. I feel like we would be wearing jeans and band t-shirts, or maybe even like whatever tag team we are.
Yeah.
Joey's wearing traditional tights, singlet type thing, and McMahon's like, oh no, throw on the Cena t-shirts. And I'm like, well, no, like, because I'm not a John Cena fan. Like, I'm my character. My character is, I'm fucking, you know, Daniel.
Yeah, I'll help him out.
Yeah, but I'm not wearing a t-shirt. He's like, oh no, you're going to wear a t-shirt. That's going to happen. Take it. And you're like, and it's just like, was that the case? Because it just seems like that's the only thing I think of where this would even be good. Because like kayfabe-wise, the Sago Beckett, the Street Fighter from Cuba going, I'm gonna buy me a t-shirt, guys. I'm gonna go to the stands. He didn't go to Taker's locker room because Taker's gonna be like, fuck off. I don't even have my own merchandise. Yeah. He went to the stands, threw a t-shirt, and Godwin's behind like, yeah, boy, I'll give you a t-shirt too. And then, you know, fucking Fatu, who can now rap, is just like, yo, dog, get me a t-shirt. I want a Taker t-shirt. Stay in school. Yeah. It's just like, it's so cheap. Go ahead, please.
But now you're talking.
Derail me.
You're talking in kayfabe.
Yes, kayfabe.
This is the characters talking.
Yes, characters.
Your analogy went more toward like you as Daniel would say, I don't really want to wear the shirt. It doesn't fit. Yeah. It doesn't match. Like,
yeah.
If these three guys are Taker's buds backstage for real, fuck yeah, we'll wear the shirts.
No.
Fuck yeah, we'll wear the shirts.
No.
It's our boy right here.
Because once again, we're still in real life, right?
Yeah.
So kayfabe, a hog farmer, is just like, yeah, I'm gonna wear a Darkside t-shirt.
Well, he said I'm wearing it under my overall.
Overall, he did. We'll say that. He get that. Vega, the street fighter from Cuba, just like, yep. The positive rapper, kids, here's a good message for you. Stay in school, don't do drugs, and worship the dark side. There you go. No, makes zero sense.
Everybody likes Undertaker.
The only thing I can think of.
Some people aren't afraid of the dark.
If we're trying, yeah, we'll get to that later.
But yeah, everybody likes Undertaker. If they don't like him, they fucking respect him.
Agreed. And the only wiggle room we'll give it.
If Taker comes to you and goes,
which he's not. He ain't doing it. But whatever. The only wiggle room I'll give it is they're scared to death of him. And they're just like,
respect.
We got it, yeah.
They're not scared of him.
Oh, they're scared. They're scared. No. And they're just like, the only way we're going to get this guy not to this fucking tombstone and chokeslam all of us is, let's just, show team solidarity, put a t-shirt on. We are Team Dark.
Whose side is he on?
Well, we're not Team Vega. We're not Team Farmer.
Exactly.
We're not Team Botany. We're Team Darkside. You're Taker.
See, I don't even need to be
full circle.
Make it make sense.
So that's the only thing we're going to give it. So the last detour.
And that's enough.
That's enough. We did it. So I'm satisfied.
What more do you want?
There it is. Now, the last detour through Beyond Kayfabe, because we got 3 levels, I feel like, on this show.
Okay.
We got the real life stuff. What did Bruce Prichard say? What was really going on? Would we hear in the dirt sheets or, podcasts or whatever? What really happened? We got Kayfabe, which is the canon storyline that's going on that we see on TV. Yeah. But then we got Beyond Kayfabe, which is something that we had to invent because jackasses like me, who had OCD on this shit, can't accept that me and Mark and the Undertaker are the same guy. And if you just say that, it's all an act and whatever, which I refuse to do, it's like, well, how did he get from me, Mark, to Undertaker? We established that. How do you do this to that? Establish. So you got to have Beyond Kayfabe. How does it work within the rules of reality and Kayfabe, and yet connect to other stories that have since been discontinued because McMahon, and not just him, I get that up there. Corporations, I get it. But still,
can't bring up that shit.
Exactly. So it's one of those things where it's like, as a fan, I had to create Beyond Kayfabe to make it make sense in my head. Now
it's entertaining.
No, it definitely is. So here's what I had to come up with now, because we mentioned the other team, but we also mentioned Kane, Undertaker's brother. Now, we don't know that now, and once again, this ain't established till 97. So, when you watch it 97, I remember the first time I found out, and I found out before, internet was even popular, or, podcast, and how I found out was actually PWI magazine.
Oh, yeah, okay.
So they do their top 500 at the end of the year, where they rank on, they go pretty detailed. And even when they brought Kane up, it had to be 98 edition, because he hadn't wrestled 97, or if he did, it wasn't much.
He made that one.
Yeah.
He squashed some people during that time.
Exactly. So, but they did an article, and so they usually will put in when a wrestler has made appearances before. And so, when they brought up Diesel and Dr. Isaac Yankum and the Unabomber, which was a character he had in
Smoky Mountain,
and USWA as well,
yeah.
I was just like, what? And then I was like, okay, Unabomber, fine, I get that.
Didn't want to accept it.
But it was just like, but wait a minute, he's had run-ins with Taker. So, in my mind, I had to make it make sense, because once again, I'm mentally disturbed. So, how do we make this make sense? And I did it. I did it because it makes sense.
Did you?
So, Kane.
I can't wait to hear this.
So, that Kane would eventually come out, and, the storyline initially was.
Now, Glenn Jacobs, the mayor of Knoxville, Tennessee.
We'll get there when that time comes. Don't worry about that. We'll get there when that time comes. One step at a time. Damn it. Anyway, you see I'm worked up now just time to go through this part.
Well, it doesn't.
It's the heat.
800 degrees in here.
I was like, the heat may be white, but this setup is sweatier than the heat. I promise you that. So, anyways, so we all know that the storyline for Kane.
I don't turn my fucking hair on until I get.
I'm the same way. So the setup initially is that Kane burned his parents alive, got himself on fire, and then of course was admitted to a mental institution. But then, thank you, Russo, he changed it all up, and actually it was Taker who was responsible for that fire. Frank Kane put him in the hospital. And that was where we kind of left off on that. And they would eventually, Swerve.
Bro.
And then, of course, they'd mend the bridge, mend, the thing, and they become the Brothers of Destruction. And then they'd have it on again, off again, but that was, not here nor there.
Where are you going?
Yeah, no, we're going back now. We had to go to the future first to go to the past. It's Back to the Future.
Whoa.
We're going back to the Western time yet, though. So, at that point now, so we know the setup. We know the origin.
He was an Old West Undertaker.
He was the Old West Undertaker. There's a layer there. So we know that Kane, at least up until this point, was framed for his parents' murder, driven insane, but he was never burned. Because we learned later on that the mask he wears was it was to hide his mental and emotional scars. Yeah, his soul was scarred. And that was kind of the thing. And I'll get to that when we get to other incarnations. Don't worry about it. I made sense of everything. It's all up here in the filing cabinet. If I ever have Alzheimer's before we finish the show, then we're fucked. Because then I'll be like, I don't remember what I said for that. But for now, we're good. Okay, so
we'll have a lot of fun then.
Kane gets out of the mental institution because back in the 80s, a lot of state-run mental institutions were shut down because of lack of funding.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, in real life, a lot of those guys became homeless, and it was what it was. But Kane comes from a pretty brilliant family. Even though he does have a certain mental disorder, because he was driven, insane, he's Taker's brother. I mean, Taker's a very intelligent guy, master of mind game. So there's a little bit of that in Kane himself, and he would eventually go on to get his degree. He became a dentist. And one of those things where he wants to help others, and even though he didn't want to become a psychiatrist because he hated the mental institution he was in, something about helping others appealed to him, and he just chose dentistry. I don't know why. You can ask him yourself.
Perhaps he's trying to prove a point. Like, I didn't do this.
Exactly.
I'm not a monster.
I'm not a monster. I'm a normal guy.
I'm a big son of a bitch, but I'm not.
Exactly. And he's more than just a big guy who was accused of this crime. Guess what? He's a dentist now, and he wants to help others. However, he's also, he has cable, like all of us did back in the day. And I'm going to assume he probably didn't watch him in WCW, because I don't think he was watching WCW. So, but he watched him in WWF, and when he saw The Undertaker, he's like, wait. And it snapped inside of him. And what happened was, during this time, he started turning all this aggression on his patients. And that's why you get the vignettes of him just torturing his patients in the chair. However, he did have one client.
He had a very, very popular client.
Oh, yeah. He had a very popular one who had a weird connection. Once again, this is just coincidence, but it was Jerry the King Lawler. Now, Lawler didn't need a check at this point, so he's going through all these people. But when Lawler comes in, it kind of hits him. He's just like, oh, shit, like this is the guy who...
Lawler comes in and he goes, man, I just got my WWF contract and I kind of need to...
Oh, no. Not yet. That's where he keeps him in mind initially. But no, he's in the chair first. Okay. If you remember, Lawler lost the Kiss My Foot match against Bret Hart. And he had that weird fungus shit. When he put it in his mouth, he was retching up and everything else. And so...
That had to hurt so fucking
brutal. And so he had to go to the dentist. And so whenever he's in the chair, and once again, Kane is just going out of his mind. Isaac Yankum. He changed his name because he didn't want to look like Kane. The doctor would be like, wait a minute.
Glenn's lame.
And, we're going to say Kane for right now. We'll get to Glenn in a second. We'll go later on down the road. But anyway.
Wait, you mean like Kane the Undertaker?
Kane the Undertaker. So many. Fuck you, Vince.
Undertaker tried to steal his name.
He did. And that's, we'll get, believe me, we're all there. So, Kane finally just
There's a match here, by the way.
There is a match here. We're going to get there. Sweaty setup. So then he's like, what's going on? And of course, Lawler's just like, this damn Bret Hart, And he's like, did you see the pay-per-view? He's like, I did see the pay-per-view. My God. And he's like, hey, you need help? Like, I'll take this guy out for you. Once again, playing like he wants that road to Taker. And he's like, I can get through him. And he goes, listen, I'll take out Hart for you. Now, when Isaac Yankum shows up at WWF, with little to no training, and that's great for kayfabe because he wasn't a great wrestler when he was Isaac Yankum. Yeah. So it's like, he was just a big guy with strength and anger. And that's all you need to squash jobbers. Unfortunately, it didn't translate good that we actually fought real wrestlers, such as Bret Hart at SummerSlam and, on. But he still became a good personal friend, Lawler, and just as fate would have it, being Lawler's buddy was enough to get him in this match with Taker. And it's the first time Isaac's in there and he's just looking across the ring going, you son of a bitch. But there's a part of him, even though in his mind he still thinks that he was responsible for that murder, even though it was Taker, there's a part of him subconsciously that fears him, which is why he runs away later. He tries to, he won't tag in. He's scared because there's a part of him that's still scared of the Undertaker. God damn it, I made it work. I made it work, and that's why he is, and that's why he keeps going through different aliases. We'll get to that real quick. Why he gives Diesel, why? Because those were masks of sense. He was ashamed of Glenn. He was ashamed of Kane, the brother he became. And so he wore a mask when he officially came out as Kane. But first, you realize that this dentistry was not his true calling. it was just another mask he wore. Whenever the opportunity came to become the fake Diesel, it wasn't because he loved the original Big Daddy Cool, which he would have shared a locker room with during this era. Just another mask. That's all it was. Just another mask. But it helped him hone his skills. With each passing mask he wore,
he learned 7 moves in that.
Which unfortunately is 7 more than he knew now. So
that's all he needed.
So, anyways, with each passing character, he gained a little more until he finally got the courage and maybe a little guidance, and we'll get to that later, from, well, his father Paul. We thought it was Uncle Paul, but his father Paul. Yeah, we'll get all that later. But maybe a little guidance, a little more anger, and that was finally brought him the courage to don the final mask he would need to take on his brother Undertaker. But that's not what we're talking about today. We are not talking about this match right here. I'm sorry, guys. We're probably a half hour in right now.
What match is it?
My God. Raw vs. Darkside. So, let's get to it. Taker finally comes out. Savio Vega does his salsa dance right in front of the dead man. Look him in the eye like, come on, Taker, loosen up. Come on, salsa. And I'm just like, how is Taker? I'm so burned up right now. And not the heat. It's literally just anger. How's Taker not just tombstoning all these fuckers in the ring?
No, but...
What? No. I don't give a shit. There is no... You don't fucking dance in front of the Taker. He will tombstone you. God damn it. Anyways, please, start us off. Give us some highlights of this match, since I've literally spent the entire video talking, so...
Oh my God. There really isn't many highlights until the end.
Yeah.
But, I think that, to see a young, green Triple H in the ring was nice. Can work.
Oh, absolutely.
And actually, going back and looking at other clips and matches from this era, I think he was way better now at this time than he is now.
Mm-hmm.
I just think,
Oh, I mean, like work-wise or whatever?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, no, absolutely.
I think, when he was more of a wrestler...
Well, I think before he got jacked up, too.
I think he kind of had to become a brawler and more like...
You can say something about Stone Cold, too, like in the Stunning Steve days, and even Ringmaster, maybe even early Stone Cold. More of a wrestler and...
Yeah, well, I mean, he explained after the neck break that he had...
Oh, okay, right, I didn't know that. But yeah, that's what I'm saying. So yeah, Triple H came back the same way, like before he became the Game.
Yeah, and he suffered a major injury, too. That may have changed it. But
yeah,
look, I don't really have a whole lot of highlights about like really the first 3 quarters of this match. Because it's just a typical, to me, 3 of the 4 on one side is in and out, and on the other side, everybody's in and out.
Which is very reminiscent of the last Survivor Series we did with Taker, where it was both Steiners and Luger the whole time, and then we get Taker and finally at the end, you're just like, oh, but go ahead.
But in hindsight again, a young Rikishi, a young Triple H,
it's kind of cool that, in a few years,
Kane.
Yeah, in a few years, these guys are all going to be major players in the Attitude Era, so it's like, it's kind of cool to see.
We're seeing the building blocks of, Undertaker included.
Even Viscera to a certain degree, so it's kind of cool,
And honestly, it was, like I'm saying, I just contradicted myself saying there wasn't a whole lot of highlights, but it was still a really good fast-paced match. All these guys were, working, and, Lawler was Lawler. Lawler gonna Lawler.
Oh, he's definitely a Lawler.
But I will say this too, no offense, it was nice when he finally got behind the commentator desk for good.
I agree.
Even though he was still kind of wrestling more on the part-time, but he was definitely...
Exactly.
And he continued to do that until he had a heart attack.
I mentioned this before, but as a kid, I never took Lawler as a legit wrestler, ever, because I didn't know about his previous years. So, so whenever I went back and I was like, holy shit, this guy had not just a bit of a career, this dude had a legendary career. And so I am just like, holy shit. But when I go, and now I've been reviewing all this, it's just like, man, WWF, I'm sorry, his run was not good. He was entertaining, but it was just like, as a wrestler, fucking forget about it.
It's like he tried to find a way to take Memphis Lawler and WWF jokey Lawler and mash it into one thing, and it just didn't work. No. You either had to be one or the other.
You know what the funny thing was, is on USWA, for a majority of that time, he was always a face. So it's weird to watch Raw, where he's a heel commentator or even a part-time wrestler, as a heel, the most devilish heel there, and then you turn on USWA and he's fighting for the good, and you're like, what? Another kayfabe shattering moment. I wouldn't go into that.
I get why Mabel was the team captain.
Yeah.
He was hot at the time.
Yeah.
He was on his.
Not just that, but
well, I was gonna say he's not really on his upswing now. He's kind of.
No, definitely now he's down. Because I mean, the Diesel match already kind of threw that out.
Well, you know why?
Yeah. So, but the thing is,
Diesel kept him in and said, "No, don't fire him."
So it's one of those things where, when he injured Taker, I think it's by luck. It literally did extend his career a bit more. Because they're like, well, shit, now we got to pay off this Taker versus Mabel thing. But you will find out after this feud has finally run its course.
But Lawler should have been the leader of the Royals.
Yeah.
I think he was.
Well, he's the veteran of the team, anyways. I think in sense he kind of was the captain because he was really directing the entire match until they quit listening to him. But it is what it is. Go ahead.
And the highlights, though, I mean, when it really goes from a typical Survivor Series match to is when Undertaker comes in, because you immediately get the everybody sells, because that's the one thing that I'll go through, even if it's a fucking negative 19-star match or a 20-star match.
Yeah.
Undertaker's opponents have, for the most part, have sold the fear very well.
Everyone in this match included.
Kamala's probably my favorite.
Yeah. For now. We may come across later on.
But like when everybody's like, no. I like it that all the guys jump off the apron, and Mabel's like, nah, I'm just gonna hang out here on the pole. Like
he ain't gonna jump down and then have to get back out there. I don't climb now. He's just like, nope.
I mean, the guy could totally still reach him.
Yeah, like Lawler could easily just smack him on the shoulder, but Lawler's like, okay, I gotta play along. So it's like, fuck.
Oh man, but it's like I just thought that was funny. It's like, oh, hilarious. Mabel's not jumping off.
No.
But and then you'll have your go.
Oh, yeah.
Yours will be a little more detailed, I'm sure. I watched 4 matches.
You did watch 4 matches.
Boom.
Me too, but it's all right. And mine was like a week ago, but whatever. But go ahead. So go through the eliminations for us.
Oh, it was. That's what I'm getting at.
Okay,
it was just boom, boom. I mean, and it's funny because whenever a guy would get eliminated, that's when it was kind of like, wait, what? Because then the guys would just voluntarily just come in the ring.
But you had to, you can't.
Well, I know, but it's like, I was like, they should sell it for a little bit. Like,
I feel like
maybe even like between each other.
Yeah. Agreed, but I feel like also smartly, it's like shit. Now it's time to jump on him because he's down. The pinfall.
Well, okay.
If you're going to get Taker, you don't want to get Taker when he's standing up looking at you. You want to get him when he's on the ground recovering from pinfall, and all of them did that. So it was kind of. Except for Triple H, he actually tried to run away, but you'll get to that. But yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. I don't know.
Okay.
But yeah, that's it.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
No, you're right. You're right. For me, if I'll go through the elimination. So first, it's Lawler runs in there after trying to tag out. Taker fucks his world for a second. Tombstone, 1, 2, 3 out there. In comes Kane, his brother. They start fighting.
Is this their first? Is this their official first?
Well, pay-per-view, yes. I'm not sure about TV, but as far as pay-per-view goes, yes, it's their first meeting. So this is epic for that reason alone. But gets in there, short work, Tombstone, 1, 2, 3. At this point, Mabel's still on the outside scared. Triple H is like, fuck this. And he gets out to run away, but Henry Godwin's out there with a big bucket of slop. And as Triple H is backing up, Taker grabs him, pulls him up.
Dude, one of the greatest. See, this is why I need you. Because you put that spark into my memory. One of the best choke slams I think I've ever seen
from the outside,
from anybody
into the ring.
Perfect. Like 3/4 away across the ring.
Takes him, draws him over, goes down with him.
The thing about it is, on a side note, during the slow-mo replay of that, like you can definitely tell through the hair, like Taker's like really like.
Yeah, we had to lift him over the freaking ring, ropes and everything.
But I totally forgot about that. So this is why you need to take the lead, and then I can.
Gotcha.
Because I'm interrupting you right now because I am popping hard again.
Oh no, you're fine. Believe me. I never mind you interrupting me because usually I got way more than I got. Saying I always remembered anyway, so you're good.
But I was like, when he picked him up, I was like, is he gonna? And they did, and I was like, oh fuck yeah! And then but just went all the way, like
he launched him, dude. Carries him. And then
we're gonna see some city jokes.
Triple H is out, and then in comes Mabel. Mabel attacks him at first, and I always thought Mabel's finisher was either I guess it could have been 3 things. At first, I thought it was the avalanche. but then he started doing the splash, and he started doing the leg drop, and then he started doing the belly to belly. So I'm just like, I don't know which one of those was like his official.
Yeah.
But I guess it didn't matter, just whatever you use at the time.
Like if you're gonna create him right now, like what are you giving him?
If it's been on the Mission Mabel, it's the Avalanche because he did use that, the sandwich he called it. But I guess during King Mabel, probably a leg drop. I mean, that's why he beat Taker with the King of the Ring, so and that's why he broke his orbital bone with.
I think Viscera was the big splash, right?
Do what?
Viscera did.
Viscera. Yeah, see, for Viscera and Big Daddy V, for the most part, it was always a big. It was always a big splash. So yeah, I won't say it was always a splash. So yeah,
I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
He hit him with all that.
Yeah,
shit.
I mean, he threw everything he had at him, but he does put him down, and then he gets cocky. He's like, yeah. And I'm like, dude, like, you still got 4 fuckers to fight. Like, even if you got Taker down, granted, you gotta get you. It's like, I don't care how big you are. That's 3 guys after Taker. So it's, but anyway, he's doing his little dance, which I can hear now. Mega dance better, but whatever. And then Taker sits up, scares Viscera, and you can tell he was going to fall out of the ring, but he couldn't quite hit it. So he awkwardly falls, and then this kind of rolls out, and then he tries to run. While Sermo comes in and attacks him, I thought that would have been a DQ, but the referee's like, I'm not breaking this guy. Like, he just keeps going. And then, of course, as Sermo is hammering away on Taker, he realizes he's fucked, turns around. The other 3 are there, and then he turns around. I think they maybe all hit him once or slam him or something like that, but then when he turns around, Tombstone or Chokeslam, one of the 2 by Taker, and of course, Mabel gets counted out, and then we end the match. And of course, they're all high-fiving, but no one high-fives Taker because they know better. And then Taker kind of gives out look of approval. And then he finally drops down and does this as the spotlight's on him. And that's about as good as you're going to get from Taker. And that's the Taker I want to see. None of this dancing in front of him bullshit. But they still did. They kept doing stupid, ridiculous stuff. Alright. So it's time to get about, our review. I'll be honest with you. I was not a fan of this match. For numerous reasons. The goofy side characters for one. B, the incredibly slow pace starting off. And I mean, like you said, it was a not bad match. In fact, Triple H, Saga Vega, and Fatu can work really well together. I'm not going to shit on Kane because he's still very new. And it fit his gimmick. And once again, he wasn't supposed to be a fighter. He was
still moving pretty well.
Yeah, but technically speaking, he wasn't. And Lawler, he's always good. But I mean, let's face it, he was always chicken shit heel. So it's not like you're in there watching him. But those 3 I mentioned were still good. But it was just boring. It's just like, a lot of times it made no sense, like, why you don't tag in Taker. And it's the same argument I had back when we did the 93 Survivor Series. One scene in particular, Triple H or Mabel has Vega down. He's down. And he's in the side corner, like the neutral corner, but he's on the side of his teammates. And Taker's the only one on the apron here, and the other 2 are right there, right?
Yeah.
Taker's closer to him. For that hot tag, you would go for Taker. He goes past him and tagging Vega, and I'm like, okay, I get it from a fucking storyline build-up. You're saving this for Taker. I get it. I'm not stupid to the business. I know we're just building up for Taker to go out there and just demolish everybody. But from a kayfabe logic standpoint, that's fucking stupid. I don't care. Even if you're kind of scared of Taker and you're just like, well, I'm just like he's on our team, you're still part of the team. He's not going to, not tag you in. Yeah. So it's just like, tag, please, kill this guy for me. No, they keep tagging each other in and they do this for everybody. So everybody gets in, gets a fresh hot tag, and then gets beat down, and then hot tags out. And I'm just like, we gotta do this for all 3 of them, don't we? And we did. All 3 of them got there, and I'm like, I get it also. It's not the Undertaker show. Alright, everybody's gotta have a chance to shine. But it's like, I'm sorry. This is the Undertaker show, but not the match we're watching. And it's just like, they all had feuds. Like, now, with Godwin and Triple H, I will give a pass to you, but I'm sorry, they can fight too. Who cares? Who gives a fucking shit? I don't care. And it's not disrespect against the wrestlers themselves. I'm sorry, but storyline-wise, they had nothing going on. They were literally just pawns in this match. So, I'm watching this match just going like, I'm getting more. It's irritating me because I had to watch this. And I'm just like, just tagging it. So then, here's what I'm looking at from my perspective. It's like, okay, we did this a lot. We do the armchair booking, I guess you call it.
Yes.
The only point of this match at all, at the end of the day, was 2 things. One, prove that Taker's back from his injury, and he's better than ever. We forgot to mention.
Even like during the introduction, I thought it was weird. I don't know. Mm-hmm. Making his return to the ring.
Yeah. Well, because it was, though.
I know, but that's for the commentators to hype up.
I agree. But once again,
it
does show that's how big he is. So, like, even fake can't, because he did it before whenever they did the Return of the Undertaker with Taker. He goes, the one. After whenever he announced the Undertaker, like, here's the Undertaker, but then he's like, the one, the only, the Undertaker. So, go ahead. Sorry.
since we've already pulled back the curtain as far as when we shoot and stuff, R.I.P. Fink.
Oh yeah, rest in peace, man. That does suck. Yeah. And a little sad note to kind of bring it down, but I guess even to his death, he was still just a big wrestling fan of product. And I guess in the nursing home he was at, he had a note on the side that literally said, "Make sure you turn on wrestling at 8 o'clock, whatever," because he could honestly not physically get up. And I was like, man, that's so sad to hear. But the fact that he was a hardcore fan till the end, it was just like, I don't know. So I mean, once again, he had a great run, so I mean, can't be too upset about it because it's like,
the longest employee in WWE history other than Vince McMahon.
I'm not even a spiritual guy. I don't believe in heaven, but I do believe in wrestling heaven for some reason. And he's up there right now. And he's calling these great matches right now.
Yeah, they're finally like a fucking real ring announcer.
Exactly, yeah. Get in here. So,
damn.
So yes.
Sorry.
No, absolutely. R.I.P. Fink, absolutely. Yeah. But so anyway, so that was the point. Show Taker's back. Reveal his new look. We haven't mentioned that. He had the mask on during this match. And I fucking love it's funny, people on the internet would refer to it as the Phantom the Opera mask, but it's like, it's really not.
No, it's not.
But,
I get where they
make
the comparison.
But I do love the mask. I love the look of it. I love the angry face it has already built into it.
How similar, whether it was on purpose or not, is that mask to the newer Kane mask?
Yeah, I noticed that when I watched. I was just like, "Holy shit!" Like,
I know people talked about that a lot, but I went back and looked at the pictures and stuff after watching it. I was like, "Yeah, I can see that." They literally took that and they painted it red and said, "Here you go."
Yeah, I'm cool with that though. Because,
Here you go, Glenn. Put this on.
Yeah. Oh, well, it makes sense for his character though, especially now though, because once again, they've already kind of built that bridge together. They're back to being buds, so I'm okay with that.
But no, I actually thought it looked pretty good.
Yeah, I liked it. So we got the mask, Taker back. That was the first objective.
Looked like skull, like bone.
It definitely had more skull face. His skin was ripped off, and that's but even the interior skull's pissed off. That's how mad he is.
Yeah.
And then the second objective was to continue the storyline between Taker and Mabel, and have show his fear, and then once again to set up the rematch, later on.
Do we have to?
We do. So that was the only reason for this thing. Now, once again, the only other feud going on was Godwin and Triple H, and this did nothing to really set that up. Now, yes, we do have the moment where he does put him back in the ring, the slot bucket. That's never mentioned on commentary ever again. So, like at the next pay-per-view when they fight in the Arkansas pig match or whatever, they never go. And then last month, we'll take a trip through Arkansas, I guess.
Can we review that instead?
But when we get to that one, we will. But they never once mentioned like, well, in last month he made. So it's just like that was forgettable, clearly. So here's me rebooking this match. Royals in the ring. Same setup. Lawler's running down the crowd. He's introducing his guys and everything else. And then we're backstage. And you're hearing, you can actually still hear Lawler run his mouth out there. But then you see Vega, Godwin, and Fatu. And they're all just like, and I mean, I'm going to put the lines in their mouth because they would definitely say that because it's not even against their character. All right, guys, we're going to get together. We're going to beat the Royals, right? And they're all like, yeah, that's right. We're going to show these fans that we're the greatest, right? Yeah, high fives, oh, yeah. That's not too far off of what they would actually say. But then when they're doing this, Paul Bearer enters and says, you guys are done. Take the night off. And Vega being out of the three, I guess, would be the leader of those three, because he's definitely the one that higher on the card, is like, oh, no, we're going out there. And even like God could be like, oh, no, Triple H is mine, or I guess I don't know, tells me mine. We're going out there. And then in the background, the silhouette, and his hair's in his face, we don't get revealed the match just yet, is a Taker. And then you have Fatu, or maybe Vega, because he is kind of small to be. He kind of backs into him and just looks around, and he's like, we'll just take that out. We'll watch your back. You guys need us, we'll be back here, all right? And then lights go out. Fink does, Return the Undertaker. Taker comes out. Maybe a little more pep in his step, because now he's on a mission. He runs out there, and then we just pick it up to where we left off, with everybody literally bolting from the ring. And Lawler's trying to get everybody to go back to the ring. No one wants to do it. Finally, Isaac Yankee gets through once he has his henchman, right? And then he'll just tag out to Lawler and he'll get out. And then Lawler's in there like, and then we pick it up where he goes around and they all back away. And he's just like, oh! And then the match picks up exactly right there. Squashes Lawler.
So we start the match as if
that whole first, that entire boring, needless setup doesn't happen. And we literally just squash Lawler, squashes Kane. And then when you go to Triple H will be like, nope, and he'll run, but then you get Henry Godwin, which can still, that's the only interaction they had anyway that meant anything, and then, Hell's like, oh shit, epic choke slam across the ring, Mabel runs away. Mo gets in there. We don't need the other three to hold him in place. So Mo gets in there, starts beating up on Taker while Mabel runs away, turns around, choke slam, tombstone, end it. It's a 4-minute fucking match, and we go home, and it would have got a 4-star for me, but I'm giving it 1 star because honestly, I just do not like this match. To me, it was a chore to watch, and honestly, I didn't like it. Just did not like it at all, and yeah. So that's my review, and that's how I would have fixed this debacle. Go ahead.
3 stars.
3 stars. All right.
3 stars.
So,
I try not to delve too deep as you do. I think that hinders your enjoyment sometimes.
I gave the Royal 2 4 stars, and this guy was like, it's not a 4-star, man. I'm sorry. Go ahead. Go ahead, please. I'm not stingy with my ratings. I do give good ratings when it needs it. This was not one of them. But go ahead.
This guy. That first 3 quarters was a standard Survivor Series match. Yeah. I love Survivor Series matches.
I do.
When I play my video games back there,
yep. Royal Rumble,
Elimination Tag, that's the favorite one because I get the most time out of it.
Yeah.
I get the most guys in there and see, I'm downloading and creating a lot of guys.
And usually it's the most challenging one too because, it's hard to get that first elimination because it is like they always run in and get you. So it's like, you actually got to work on those. So it's fun all around.
And if you end up getting eliminated first, it really ups the difficulty even more.
It's a great
But anyways, so I have no complaints about the way it worked out. Like, I will agree when you said there's not a whole lot of story around this except for Taker and Mabel. But when Taker comes in and starts cleaning house, and like you said, 4-minute match.
Yeah.
3-minute match.
Very.
And all that interaction. That's really where my because I don't need 20 minutes of good match. You give me enough.
Yeah.
And I know.
Right.
I try to overlook the bad.
Yeah.
And find the good and everything. Now, it's just been difficult to do these last.
It really has. We're getting out of the bad though.
And I think this is, and again, maybe that influences my decision too, is because this is one of the better performances by him. Mm-hmm. And this is a match that also, loosely, of course, you have the Mabel Undertaker story, but much like the King of the Ring match, there was really no story for that, and that's the only thing that's really gave us those 1- and 2-star Undertaker matches.
Yeah.
Has been the build around it. Has always been, and I bring this up all the time just because it is true. The build around some of his matches is way better than the actual match itself. This match really didn't have a lot of that. I know Survivor Series matches do somewhat have some kind of loose story based around it, but a lot of times it's just these 4 guys versus these 4 guys.
Usually the leader, this is the case, leaders are feuding and then they just kind of throw everybody else in on top of it, so you're right.
Much like the King of the Ring tournament, it's almost like let's press pause on all these big stories, but we have to have this tournament, we have to have these elimination matches, and then play it, and then you continue on, and I'm fine with that. But I thought it was fine. I totally agree with what you're saying, but it's I'm not going to let that hurt it. I don't care that Savio Vega danced in front of the Undertaker. That for whatever reason that doesn't bother me. I don't know. It's just so that's his thing. If Savio Vega would get mad if Undertaker kneels down and does this pose.
Well, he can't. I want to see Vega get mad. Let's see Vega get mad about that. Get choked down for his troubles. Well, fair enough. So,
because Taker looked at that and probably went "That's fucking stupid. I wish he'd stop doing that." But whatever.
But maybe he was amused too. Once again, the fact that he's teamed with people before, very rarely, but when he does, he probably lets a lot of shit slide. He's probably, when Stars and Stripes, when the Steiners are all, he's probably just you agreed to do it. You agreed. They came to you looking for help. You wanted to get that title. Put up with it. Same thing here. Probably the second off talking, but I don't know. I just feel for whatever reason, this is way too more cartoony. But we'll average it out. So this is a 2-star match then. Right. Your 3, my 1. We'll give it 2 stars. Normally I always go into the Fallout.
I'll take my rating down. So
I guess I'll bump mine up. But no. So normally I always kind of give the aftermath after we do the results. But honestly, the aftermath really just rolls into the next pay-per-view, so we're not going to worry about it. We'll just get that there. Yeah. So that's all we got this week. Let us know what you guys thought about the match in the comment section down below. Let us know what you like about it. Maybe, which side are you on? Are you okay with the cartooniness going on around Taker? Do you wish it was more killer, no filler? I mean, if you got something totally different, maybe you're just like, that shouldn't happen at all. Yeah. Just do your Mabel fucking Taker match now and just blow it off now, but whatever. But yeah, let us know what you guys think in the section below. And that's all we got, guys. Tune in next week, because next week, we're going to finally hit the In Your House. We've been going through, we've been skipping a lot of In Your Houses because Taker's either been A, injured, or B, just above it.
Yeah, Taker's like, I'm not doing anything.
No, Big 4, Big 5. I'll be there for Big 5, that's it. But no, we're going first In Your House, In Your House 4, but we'll talk about all that next week. So, for Daniel,
I'm Simon.
And guys, we're out of here.
Oh, shit. Didn't always run, sorry. Hi. Thank you for watching that video. Be sure to give us a thumbs up, share it, subscribe to our channel. All that good stuff you do right here on YouTube, go ahead and do it. Check out our other videos. Go to our playlist. We got episodes of TPS TV, Journey Through the Darkside. We got a new show coming out, the horror movie review with Daniel Richardson. This guy. And of course, our short film, Entropy. You can find all that and more right here on YouTube. And then check out, yeah, look at that. All of our social media right there. And we don't just, copy and paste like the same post and put it on all. No, that's ridiculous. 3 different platforms, 3 different posts. I mean, the behind the scenes stuff you see on Twitter will not be the same stuff you see on Instagram. So there you go, right there. So be sure to give us a follow and a like on all that right there. Keep up to date. Have you seen Unspeakable Acts yet? No? Come on. Pick you up the DVD right now. Links over there. Oh, yeah. It's only $7. $3 shipping and handling. And of course, if you've already seen it and you haven't seen the Public Domain Dungeon yet, boom, $5 DVD right there. So 5 S&P as well. Or sorry, 3 S&P as well. So there you go. Do that. And if you got the spare change, you want to hit us up, donate a little bit over here to TPS Productions. Our Patreon is right there. Oh, yeah. So that's all we... Oh, my God. Sorry. I'm getting fired, ain't I? Guys, that's all we got. Thank you for watching.